can't stop. A family shop. Think Thayer. Come on, let's get rolling. Come on, let's get moving. Think Thayer.
Coach, if you would, go ahead and start us off with an opening statement, and then we'll take questions.
Want to say, first of all, thanks to our fans for coming out. Hopefully they got some sort of excuse for missing work today, but really appreciate everybody who came out today to see our noon game. Our marketing team did a good job of getting other schools here as well. But to the game, I thought we did a good job and essentially won several categories. Obviously, we won the rebound margin by 10. We won the field goal percentage by 6. You win some bench points by 10 as well. But the categories that we had to have to win this game were the ones I mentioned, in addition to the other categories where we lost 2 out of 3. We had to contain Johnson and Owens. Johnson is a National Junior College Player of the Year in the entire country. She showed up today and played very well, and we had to contain Owens. I think she's a Power 5 point guard, and those two combined for 45 points. And we had to, for that category, we had to limit them and contain them to less of 50% of the team scoring, and for us to win. And we had to win the rebound battle in order for us to win. And then thirdly, we had to win the turnover battle, okay? And we lost 2 out of those last 3 categories, and that was a big difference in the game in my eyes. We had 24 turnovers, and a lot of them were in once we broke their pressure. So we've got to correct some things in practice with that, but I thought we broke their pressure well for the majority of the game. And they were able just to take the ball out of her hands a couple different plays. But this game, honestly, is a 2-possession game. I got Johnson hitting a trail 3. She's down a 3-point shooter. She knocked down 3 today, and she had a shot at the top of the key. Got Anna Owens hitting a 3 on the right wing, where game is a 1-possession game, or I think we had a lead at that time. But so those 2 shots I thought were a big difference in the game. I thought it was a really well officiated game, and I never say that. And yet I've got to give credit where it's due. Even though we were in foul trouble throughout the majority of the game, I thought our kids were aggressive, and they were good calls by a very veteran group. But got to give a big shout out to Abby Siefer. Best game of her career, and she's probably the healthiest she's been in her career. I would need longer than a scroll tablet to talk about everything that she's been through injury-wise. We should probably rename the training room after her. She's been in there so much. But for that kid to post a double-double today against that type of rebounding prowess with Johnson, Reiser, and others, and Tarver on that team, along with Warren, I was really impressed with her effort. Most minutes she's ever played. Kid did not get tired today, and really happy with her efforts with that. So with that said, felt like we could have had this game, felt like we could have had the Eastern Kentucky game. Eastern Kentucky, we're playing without Haley Puck, who could have helped us, was out with a family emergency and missed 25 layups. So you make a 4th of those, you win at the foul line, but we didn't, and Eastern Kentucky made theirs. Today we're playing without starter Ashley Tunstall, who was a big contributor in that first game, and she's out with an injury. She'll be back in practice in a couple days and be ready for the trip down to Louisville. So with that said, not having a full roster for the first 2 games, yet having double-digit leads in both games, really happy with the effort, yet cleaned up some things, made a lot of shots inside that we were unable to make against Eastern Kentucky, made those shots today. Now we got to continue to clean up the turnovers, and if we limit those to, say, 2/3 of what we have and score 30% on what of those other additional possessions that we have, it's a different ballgame. I thought we shot the ball extremely well. 2 out of the 3 quarters. The last quarter, obviously, just ran into a little bit of a buzzsaw, only getting 9 points up there, and a lot of their points in that 4th quarter were coming from free throws because we had a foul at the end. But again, really pleased with the effort. As I mentioned, the categories that we won, I was happy with. Categories that we lost, I know we can improve upon. We have the toughest schedule of anybody, and to wear a Bowling Green uniform, we could be an honorary American Conference member, we could be an honorary ACC member, and I'm just proud of our kids' efforts for the way they battled today. Yet each one of them, along with each staff member, will probably have a little bit of a bitter feeling because they know they had chances to win, and we'll correct some things, and looking forward to our trip coming up this weekend.
It's 55-55 after Johnson's three that you mentioned, the one where it's in transition and she's late arriving, like 3 minutes to go. Will you talk a little bit about, well, first, I mean, they scored on every possession to finish out the game, and I realize there's some free throws in there, but still, when it came down to crunch time, they scored every possession. Can you talk a little bit about the defense there? I mean, was that just them making shots, or what?
Yep, they're talking to their coaching staff, and though Owens and Johnson should be playing at a top 25 school. I mean, they are unbelievably talented. I mean, the National Player of the Year is going to make shots in crunch time. Owens is fantastic coming off ball screens, and they're primetime players. If those two shots don't go in, different ball game, because we were doing a good job of corralling the rebounds, okay? We were scrambling. She's, in my eyes, a better offensive rebound putback kid, and great getting the ball at the high post, power dribble. She's got a really strong pivot foot on the inside. If she's on the block, three-point shot is probably 4th or 5th on the list of her strengths. Okay, so I was happy with the shots. I thought they weren't going to go in, but it was, she had enough time to kind of get it off and feel good about herself, which she did. But those two kids, as I mentioned, they scored 3/4 of their points against Southeast Missouri on Friday night. Okay, again, our goal was we had to contain them, not stop them, and we had to hold them to about less than 50% of their scoring output today. Because when you have those two highly proficient scorers and other kids don't get a lot of touches, I thought some kids may tighten up a little bit. But credit Cincinnati, they got the ball to those two kids in crunch time and they made shots. And they had to make those shots to win today because of the lead that we had.
Conversely, in crunch time, you guys struggled to score. I mean, you mentioned the officiating. Can you speak to the Santoro block charge? I mean,
I will disagree with that call, but I got to see it on film. So that's Carly's strengths, to refuse some ball screens. She's great at getting all the way to the hoop. She's great at finishing on the other side of the glass with a reverse layup. She's really good with a pull-up. They did a good job of scouting us and try to take that baseline drive away, and the kid's trying to make a play. So kudos to her. That's what we needed. That's a kid that can make a play in that situation. And bam play. It could have gone either way, in my opinion.
But as in general, your offense struggled to score in those. You got some free throws at the end, but there was, I think you scored in like from 55. You only had two 3 points the rest of the way. So was that?
Yeah, anytime that you get clicking, like Cincinnati did, like I keep mentioning, to those 2 3-point shots by Johnson and Owens, you're going to feel like you're on cloud 9 and pick up things a little bit better defensively at the other end. So I'm not going to talk about the fact that we got to learn to win or any cliche like that, because we can win. Okay, we can win and we will win, so I'm not worried about that. But making shots in crunch time, we've got to continue to work on that and get better. But you do that by making layups at Eastern Kentucky, and everybody fell victim to that. And then just taking care of the ball, more importantly, at the end of the game or throughout the game, and we're not in that situation. So I think we're a good foul shooting team. We were a good foul shooting team today. We just got to get to the line a little bit more in the 3rd and 4th quarter to make that pay off for us.